Hello everyone, welcome back to Game Center Crown. My name is Joy and this is Rule of Rose, and specifically today we're going to be tackling the Bird of Happiness chapter. Let's do our inventory wipe that we do at the beginning of every new chapter, because our inventory do be tiny and we need as much space as we can get. We don't need the floral letter. We have the lead pipe now, so we don't need the paring knife. The kitchen knife we can put away. The decorative knife, Baron, we can store here for safekeeping. We need to collect 5 decorative knives. There's another one in this chapter. Peter's droppings we no longer need. Don't need the lollipop because we're a bad bitch with a bad infinite health cheat. And then mince pie. So now we're left with the bird and the steel pipe. Perfect. So in the Bird of Happiness book that we just read at the end of the last video, it was talking about how a bird was in a smaller and smaller box until we found a super small box where it was too small and it got met by a bloody fate. Let's see what our friend Bucket Knight has to say. If memory serves me correctly, you've met the cold princess and seen the empty cage she carries. She seeks what you seek. I know what it is, yet you forget. Remember your forgotten promise. That's your only clue. So that was actually very helpful. There's a forgotten promise that we have made. There's a promise that we have made that we have since forgotten. And this might be what the little boy is referring to as us being very bad. We've forgotten some sort of promise. And I don't think the bird is going to lead us anywhere. So, the bird, the book, that is. So, I'm going to come out here. We're in the... we were just in the Aristocrat Lounge, the salon. We can come out here and start talking to people. The strong-willed princess and the wise-looking princess were talking. The unlucky girl listened in. She doesn't seem to be skittish at all, Diana. You're right, Meg. We had better push her a little harder. We'll discuss the details later. Okay, let's meet at our secret place. And they just dropped a red feather, which is deeply suspicious, a crimson bird feather. This is what we're going to use to find shit. Find. But first, it's what we're going to use to follow them. But I want to look around up here first, get some more exposition. This month's gift, Birdie of Happiness. Let's look at the... can check the box that has been duct taped to hell and back. A strange box is attached to the door. Things can be placed inside it, same as always. We don't have anything yet. You can also collect things like ribbons and clothespins and candy and chocolate. And how you find that is you have Brown look for certain things and they sort of chain onto each other. And then if you place, like, I think it's 4 ribbons in the box, you can get a minced pie back, stuff like that. So if you need healing items, that's one way to do it. I'm not doing it because of the health glitch I have going on. You can't go into the sick bay. I don't know if we can visit Wendy's room yet. Nope. Can we go to the library? Yes, we can. Yeah, but I don't think there's anything in here that we can interact with. So, womp womp. So instead, I think we're going to follow this feather because that's when things really kick off. And it leads us to where we need to be. Because something that I did when I was replaying this is I went through all the rooms and was like, okay, is anything hiding in here? Is anything hiding in here? And usually the game is pretty good about like having you circle, like keeping you in the area that you're meant to be, and anything outside of that, it doesn't really put anything outside of it, which is really nice. It isn't really trying to trick you. is how I feel about that, which is really nice. Like, nothing is too terribly far out of your way per chapter. Wherever it has you kind of stationed within the airship is where all the action's going to happen. It's where you can find different things, that sort of thing. Doesn't have you go very far at all. I do want to check... I do want to check in here real quick. Because as these chapters progress, we can see little changes beginning to happen. And so one of them... Oh! The little pile isn't here. Interesting. That's something I didn't realize, is that whatever Amanda is working on is only there when she's working on it. So when she's not there, it goes away. It grows in size, is what I wanted you guys to see, but we'll probably see that in the next chapter. So it gets bigger, whatever it is. And, so now we have these birds upon the wall, drawn in red crayon. Some pretty intense crayon, if it can stick to airship walls. You'll also notice all the ropes have gone away. So, that's interesting. I actually want to see if we can go in here. Actually, we don't need to. Let's just follow Brown. But yeah, we're sort of in like a stable, like, part of the, whatever memory we're accessing right now. Where it's like, okay, this isn't too bad. This seems all normal. And it's when things go to shit where it's, you know, it's violence, it's abuse, is when things really start to get crazy and the ropes start to show up. And it starts trying to hold sort of everything together or restrict access in some way or both. And it's when the imps show up, so they're trying to impede your progress of accessing this traumatic part of a memory. So that's how that works. Or at least that's how a lot of people who are much smarter and have dug through so many more files in this game than I have come to the conclusion that that's what's happening. And I'm inclined to believe them because, you know, that all checks out. But yeah, there's a small but dedicated group of people on the internet that, hold on, there are bird feathers on the floor. The feathers form a trail that begs to be followed. Does it beg? But yeah, there's a very, is it the women's lavatory? I think so. But yeah, small but dedicated group that have gone through the files and found missing shit, and textures, and all sorts of things. It's pretty great. You're gonna turn around, aren't you, bed? Okay. So I think we go upstairs, is what it is. And they found, like, unused audio files and all sorts of things. It's really impressive. And they've actually started, like pulling apart the code and looking at, like, specific names for things. And, like, some of the girls had different original names and stuff like that. It's very interesting. Let's see. Okay, so this goes this way. Okay, so something you're going to notice is that we have different colored birds on the wall now. We have a purple bird with 37 underneath. But we're looking for a red bird, so we're really going to follow this trail. And these doors are numbered. So, yeah, let's go on this one. Into the women's lavatory. Where this trail of feathers have gone that beg to be followed. And if we open this up, is that blood on it? Quiet. But we can hear Meg and Diana coming. We're gonna drop some more eaves.
You know what? You know what? What? I don't like her. I'll never get along with her. No chance, not ever. She's such a pain. Just terrible. I can't stand the sight of her. Yes, she had him coming. Yes, she deserved it. Are we too cruel?
Yes, you little sociopath.
No. You're right. It's her own fault.
So there's a very real chance that they're talking about Eleanor here instead of Jennifer, because Eleanor is the one who's targeted right now. It's her bird that's been taken away. So let's follow them back out. See what other information we can get. Oh, hey ladies, what are you doing here? The strong-willed princess said, "Eavesdropping, eh, Jennifer? What a bad girl." The wise-looking princess said, "I know what you're doing. You're looking for the bird of happiness, aren't you? It's in a room nearby, but I don't remember the room number. The bird will die if we don't hurry, and that will make Eleanor cry. No, I bet she'll be furious. She's going to go insane. Then let's make a wager on whether she'll cry or get angry. It's a bet." Y'all are terrible. Okay, so most of these rooms can be accessed now. Only one of them is right, and if you go into a wrong room, you have to face off with a bird imp. But you can see another one here is 45, a green bird. And these doors are numbered. The room that we want is 26. We also have a blue bird here, labeled 16. And we know it's 26 because we can hear tweeting. And there's a room 26 right there near the edge of the screen. So we want to go in here. And the puzzles are about to go from stupid easy to slightly less than easy. None of these are terribly groundbreaking. So we have a box here, just like in the storybook. And we can pick up land sketch. And this says the land of birds, its population is 834. 834. So we go to this box. There's a box labeled land. Has a combination. Wouldn't you believe that the combination is exactly what we just found, 834. There we go. And then we get... Oh, come on. We found a torn diet chart. Birdietown Mayor's diet chart. Part of it has been torn off. Don't worry, we have a great dog who's going to sniff this out for us. And find. And go. This is a lot of Brown just finding the other piece of a page for us. But this does complete 1/3 of our Forgotten Promise, so we remember it again, or rather. Let's see. Yeah, we just gotta follow Brown here for a little while. I know you're telling me to go in that door, but I want to talk to Diana first. Don't be like that. You still haven't found it? It'll die soon if you don't... It'll die if you don't find it soon. Well, thanks for nothing, sister. Okay. Moving as fast as my slow body can take me. We can go into the shower. Because these are sort of like first class sleeping areas. And here we find another piece. Come on. Find another piece of the diet chart. This morning's weight was 124 kilograms. So, just so you know, that means that the next code is 124. So we gotta go back to room 26 and punch that in. This one is one of the less imaginative chapters, I'd say. Maybe the most, like, least imaginative. Oh, we have another bird here. That is orange, and it says 55. Let's see. And is 26 this way? I forget. Are you 26? You are indeed 26. Okay. Because if we go into the wrong room, we have to battle an imp. They lock the door behind us, and we have to battle an imp. And it's a bird imp. And it's kind of a pain in the ass because it has a huge range, and it'll knock you over. Let's see. This one is called Village. What was it? 124? This is also super glacial. There we go. Get another scrap. Called the sketch piece. Daddy is, Mummy is, the rest has been torn off. This one's 3 find quests for Brown. Incredible. Sketch piece. Find.
Go.
Great. And then this is going to take us out of this area where we can, I believe, find one of the imps with the next special knife that I want to be collecting. You can collect perfumes in this game, and it'll unlock a revolver gun in a secret room. And you might be wondering, Joy, why the hell are you not doing that? Because the gun is weak as fuck, and also it's not worth the time and the effort. It's weak, and it's hard to find ammunition for it. So it's kind of not worth it. So that's why I'm not doing the perfume side quest. You can also do the record side quest, and I believe they're named after the Zodiac. So it's like Aries and Gemini and stuff like that. Found torn sketch. And anyway, that's like soundtrack listings. And then there's the film canisters, which is the cutscenes. Mummy and Daddy plus daughter equals the rest has been torn off. So we can tell one of the birds is orange. That was 55. Let me punch that in my phone real quick so I remember. So, actually, I have the answer left over from when I was doing this the other day. So I'm just gonna keep it on there.
Go.
Oh, wait. Hang on. Do you need the next piece? I think you need the next piece. Diet chart, land sketch, torn sketch. Find!
Go.
Sweet. Meg hasn't shown up yet, which is really interesting. Ah, but Eleanor has.
Stay.
Stay here, Brown. That's not the right color. It's a red bird. So she's talking about this orange bird here. And she'll do that with all the other birds, too. Where are you going, Brown? Oh, there you are. There we go. But yeah, she does it with all these birds. She just kind of whips around and is like, that's not the right color. It's a red bird. Go to the stairway. Because I think this piece is in a really shitty spot. Yep, this is... I remember this now. I get to see some really stupid imps here in a second. But I think it is also where, oh my god, Jennifer, please, pick it up. Thank you. Picked up a scone. I think we have another scone up here. And it's giving us scones because we're going to be in an extremely imp-infested area in a second here. It's this bitch whistling, not a bird. Why won't the birdie fly to me? Why does it have to be you? Stay away. I said stay away. Alright, bitch. Damn. You know what? Ugh. That's how I feel about that. I think we have another scone here. Thank you. Alright, so it's up here. And we have to have brown. Otherwise, I'd make him stay downstairs because this section is dangerous. And I don't like putting him through it, frankly. Yeah, okay, so those big-ass birds cannot be killed as far as I... no, okay. Yeah, the really tall ones cannot be killed. The tiny ones can. But we found the torn sketch. So it's the orange bird plus the green bird plus the yellow bird. And... oh, wait, I have a different answer on my phone. I thought I had it, but it's a different answer. So it's 55 plus... I forgot what the green one was. We'll figure it out when we get back down there. But... okay. Follow me, Brown. Please don't peck me, thank you. But yeah, those big ones will knock you over. Oh, God, yeah, just like that. And you can get stun locked very easily in this section. I actually spent like 10 minutes trying to kill the very large birds. And I couldn't. So that was fun. And of course, the only reason I did is because I have this invincibility cheat going. Alright. So, go back down. And I actually want to go into a different hallway before we do this. Because I want to be sure I get the special knife. Yeah, that's a knife. So, we're going to go in here. We're also going to figure out... the orange bird was 55. We have that. And then we need the yellow bird and the green bird, I believe. So, okay, so green bird is 45, so... 55 plus 45... whoa, hold on, 55 plus... equals 100. And we need to actually go into a different hallway to get the special knife that I want. But right now I'm just looking for the yellow bird. I believe this is, yeah, back where we followed the trail, so we can go this way. Oh, and it's this bitch this time. Meg. What do you have to say for yourself, Missy? Nothing? I don't believe that. Oh, where can it be? The bird of happiness. Don't play dumb. Do you have anything else? Nope. Alright. Playing real stupid with me here, Meg. If that is your real name. And then here's the yellow bird. And so we can talk to Eleanor again. It's not the right color. It's a red bird. So she'll say that again. So, 12. So 112 is the code that we need. But before we punch that in, I want to go get that knife. So let's go do that real quick. And I know where it is. Ooh, that's not the way I want to go. I want to go this way. Follow the red feathers and such. But yeah, it's really screwy because if you don't know to go to room 26, it's actually... like, because you can't hear the bird tweeting until you get very close to room 26. Otherwise, you're opening up all these doors. And you see these birds on the wall, and you're like, oh, if I just follow this, surely these are room numbers that I'm meant to be following. And that is not the case at all. So you open up a room that you're not supposed to be in, and you have to fight an imp and before you can get out, and it's just a shit show. If you're doing this without infinite health and... not too good at the already really bad combat in this game. Okay, so we have imps over there. I do want to check Clara's room. I believe we'll be back in Clara's room in a second. Yes, we will be. There's actually something pretty disturbing in here. Yeah, it's just Martha with a bag over her head, but she's still alive at least. Anyway, she's part of the next find quest for Brown. But yeah, I want to get this knife before things progress too far. So I don't want to be in the 2-leaf clover room. I think I want to be in the 3-leaf clover room, because that'll put me on the other side of that barrier. This barrier. Which will allow me to fight the imp that has the special knife. Let's see here. Okay. And this is blocked off. Can't leave. Yeah, I think this is it. And then we just need to run around to a corner of this place until we find a special imp with a bag on his head. And he's carrying the golden knife. This time. Little bastard. And I don't think there's a boss battle in this one. Stay away from me, please. Thank you. Oh, bitch. Okay. Yep, there he is down there. You! I want you! I choose you, Pikachu! Ugh, give me the knife! Thank you. I will have that. I found Viscount. That's something I just learned how to pronounce recently. Not Viscount, pronounced Viscount. In the same way that Colonel is not pronounced Colonel. Despite how it's spelled. So, perfect. That was a very quick run of that. And now we can go back to room 26 and punch in 112. And be on our merry way. I love how this game stopped the music. It's like, you're not supposed to be here, bitch. Get back into the second passenger corridor and finish this. I'm actually not sure why it cut the music. Maybe because I ran into imps? Not sure. Because things is getting spooky. No, there's no bluebird on the wall here. Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. I think it's this one that has the blue bird on the wall, which is the indication that we're near room 26. Yep, there we go. Alright. And then I think this last one, I think this is it after this one. Yeah, the boxes are getting pretty small. There's a box labeled family. And the answer is, survey says, 112. Oh, and the music's back. Excellent. It's like, bitch, do the puzzle. Okay, we got a news article. This one is on the Daily Flamingo. It's from July 1930. Famous couple to divorce. Husband borrows, in heavy quotations, 60 pounds from wife's 365-pound bank account. Alright. Borrows. Also, it's funny if we look at this in our inventory. It says, man swipes 60 pounds from wife's 365 bank account. So it's a little bit more honest. Let's find it. We are in England, after all. They're very polite and very emotionally repressed. So they probably would say borrowed instead of swiped. I'm joking, of course. I'm only going off of that joke that John Oliver tells, where he's just like, oh, British people are so repressed, you're not allowed to show emotion. The only reason I'm here in the United States is because I cried at the end of the Notebook or something like that. Here we go. So we're going to go back to Clara's room, where we found Martha tied up, because she actually had a newspaper bound to her chest. And I accidentally spoiled that big reveal of Martha being in Clara's room. And you might be wondering, why is Martha tied up in Clara's room? We might have some information about that later as we get more details about Clara, Martha, and Hoffman and how they sort of interact. Because Clara is the oldest child at the orphanage. I'm not sure if I mentioned that yet, but she is 16. The July 1930 Daily Flamingo, so a month after, husband borrows yet another 30 pounds from wife's bank account. Alright. So we have the news article, and it finds Martha. So we need to go back to the room, and if you subtract the money that the guy took out of the bank account, it comes out to $275 is what's left in the bank account, and that is the code for that last box. this way, right? Yes. Man, spoiled to death by modern gaming. Having to wait for each room to load, no matter how small it is. Brutal. And also that crazy, crazy hitbox magic happening during the Hoffman fight. That's probably the most egregious bad hitbox in the game. There is another really difficult boss battle coming up. And it's the one that I almost rage quit on when I was 15, just because it was just so much. But I really wanted to know how this story unfolded, so I just stuck with it. And that is just so... so me, because that's the reason why I played Bloodborne. It's the reason why I played Dark Souls. It's just like, I care about the story more than anything else. So I will often suffer through a lot of shit just to get the story revealed. But anyway, there's a box labeled couple here. And $275 is what's left in the bank account when he's done swiping cash. And the last box says alone. So we went all the way from a land to a village, to a family, to a couple, to being alone. And when Jennifer reaches in, you'll notice that Eleanor hasn't been wearing her dress. That's the dress. She's just been wearing her slip. And really great disappearing bag there. Shows up again in this next... Yeah, there it is.
It wasn't me, honest.
Notice that this does not look like the inside of an airship right now. This actually looks quite a bit like the orphanage that we started out in. In fact, that is exactly the attic door that we went into in the first part of this game, in the first chapter. And we're on the ground, we can see trees through the window. And they're shrugging because she is neither crying nor furious. So nobody won the bet. Or at the very least, they don't know who won the bet. So we can see memories starting to blend together here from the airship and the orphanage. And you might be wondering, hey, Joy, wasn't there a missing page from that Bird of Happiness book? Right you are. We're about to find it. And remember the first part of our promise that we forgot. That made us such a bad, bad girl. So we can go over here. A slip of paper is beneath the clothing. The moral, everlasting happiness. And if we put that into the booklet, we get the complete story. The Bird of Happiness. Once, a girl found a big box. The Bird of Happiness was inside. The bird would take her to Foreverland, or so she hoped. Each box was smaller than the last. In a cramped, dark space, she finally found her little bird. But it was far too little and far too late. The bird was long dead. It had met a bloody fate. The end. The moral, everlasting happiness is a joke. The unlucky girl remembered the promise she made to her dear friend, and so she wrote it on the chalkboard, so she'd never forget it ever again. Everlasting. Yeah, I'll save. Let's see what that little boy has to say now that we've remembered 1/3 of our promise. Good morning, Jennifer. Do you remember anything new? I see. You remember one of them. But that's still not good enough. You're such a silly girl. Hurry, hurry, read the story, Jennifer. We're gonna go right down the middle and grab this storybook. Which is... oh, come on now. The Goat Sisters. The Goat Sisters. Hang on. So if we back up, we see that one is wearing glasses and that there's a little heart between them. Little sister wrote a letter. Ba ba. Big sister munched it up. Ba ba. Little sister studied her notes. Ba ba. Big sister tore them to shreds. Ba ba. Little sister wanted to read big sister the letter, so she fetched it from her sister's stomach. But with big sister dead in a pool of amber blood, who is there to read the letter to? Ba ba. And another missing page. As soon as we wake up in the airship again, I'm going to end this episode. This one was not an hour. Congrats, self. No, I don't want to save yet. This takes place in September 1930. The Goat Sisters. And you might remember that we met some goats in the livestock room named Mary and Sally. They come back into play. When the unlucky girl closed the storybook, the wise-looking princess was in the room. The princess said softly, "It's not here either. If someone else finds it, there must be something very important to you. Why don't you go find it?" So again, we're being urged to find something important to us. Let me just say, to quote Orange is the New Black, the next chapter is about to have lesbian activity, which is very true. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here because this is the end of The Bird of Happiness and the beginning of The Goat Sisters. And I hope you've joined me next time, and I hope you enjoyed The Bird of Happiness, even though it was easily the most boring chapter of this entire game. It's very lackluster in comparison to the other ones. But we did learn a little bit about Eleanor, that she's very detached from her emotions, that she thinks happiness is a lie, or a joke, to quote the book. And that in many ways, that coldness is a defense mechanism to keep herself from getting hurt. So that's what we learned about Eleanor, and that's why she's so cold and sort of standoffish. But she's still been brainwashed by the aristocracy of the Red Crayon. She still goes along with their bullshit. So, peer pressure and all that. Anyway, my name is Joy. This is Game Center Crown. This has been The Bird of Happiness in Rule of Rose. And in the next video, we will be going after the Goat Sisters. So, I hope you join me. Later, y'all.